A bit of contouring right along the cheekbone and then blushing
From the glitz and glam of a fresh and trendy makeover,
the most important thing is to remember you have to walk onto the ball of the foot.
To all the tips and tricks to rock a great high heel, Bonnie Pollard knows it all. It comes from her 23 years of working in the fashion and makeup industry in Victoria, and she's who you'd want to call on to help you feel good from the inside out.
It's like your world stops. Like when they say you wake up one morning and your whole world changes, it really was.
Earlier this year, Bonnie's world was turned upside down. On June 28th, the day her stepson graduated, she was told she had advanced stage 2 breast cancer.
And I don't think anybody can ever prepare you for it. And certainly I wasn't anticipating that kind of news.
She discovered a rash and some inflammation and was put on antibiotics. She then had 2 ultrasounds and a mammogram that showed no signs of a lump or a tumor. But just a few days later, when she went back to the hospital for another ultrasound, she was given the devastating news.
So mine didn't progress like a normal, shows as a grain of sand, then it's a pea, and then a few months later it's, at a stage 2 kind of level or dangerous, you haven't caught it. Mine was a matter of 2 weeks, and that's what makes it so scary.
She says from there, things went incredibly fast. In less than 2 weeks, she had undergone all kinds of tests and scans and started chemotherapy. And what was to become a roller coaster of a life was only just beginning.
Well, chemo is nasty. There's just no way. I mean, if it was a walk in the park, everybody, would be bouncing off the walls. For me, chemo was all about nausea.
Just 2 weeks into the treatment, Bonnie says her hair started to melt off in the shower. She says she wasn't emotionally prepared for that, but with the support of her family, they decided cancer wasn't going to take her hair. Her family was.
So my husband and our kids, they shaved my head when it started to fall out. We did a faux mohawk, the Rihanna inspiration for a look, and that lasted about a week until it fell out further, and then we did we call it the G.I. Jane look.
But eventually, doctors told Bonnie the chemo wasn't working and her tumors were growing once again. She says she took the news personally, like she had failed the chemo treatments.
I didn't prepare myself emotionally for when you get a setback as far as this treatment's not working.
She's now a little over a week into radiation and trying to deal with the fatigue, but she is working a couple of hours a day, a chance for at least a little while to live a normal life.
And I get a chance just to forget that right now what I'm dealing with emotionally and that I have cancer. I can put on the wig, I can put on the scarves, and unless people really have known me a lot before as far as, oh, Bonnie had dark hair, now she's platinum blonde, it usually coasts.
One of the things that gives Bonnie energy is just playing in styles. And so we give her that opportunity. It's a case of maybe helping to pace it a little bit sometimes so that we're not doing stuff flat out every day, but also that we don't, ignore that. Part of what makes Bonnie who she is that she loves what she does for a living.
And that support goes a long way for Bonnie, especially from someone like Jonathan, who himself beat cancer 12 years ago.
She doesn't want us to sit around thinking that every moment of the day is the most stressful possible and tiptoeing around her like we're on broken glass or something. She wants to live life to the fullest.
And for Bonnie, that means sharing her story. At some point during her journey, she says she got mad at cancer and decided she wasn't going to sit back. She says she decided to speak up, making some good out of her terrible diagnosis.
Maybe by sharing my story, maybe other people can be a little bit more aware. Maybe it might save somebody, or somebody might be caught a little bit earlier.
And though her journey isn't done, she knows she is already making a difference. In Victoria, I'm Nikki Ewanyshyn.